All right, today we're putting on our hard hats and becoming molecular architects. We're going to be drawing the blueprints for the invisible world of chemistry, figuring out the basic structure of the stuff that makes up, well, everything. Let's jump right in.
So, here's the big question, right? How do you draw something you literally can't see? Molecules are the building blocks of our entire universe, from the water we drink to the air we breathe, but they're microscopic. So how in the world do scientists map them out? How do they create a plan for them?
Well, the answer is a really brilliant system called Lewis structures. And you can think of them just like an architect's blueprint for a molecule. It's this beautifully simple set of rules that lets us visualize how atoms connect, how they share electrons, and it gives us a clear, two-dimensional map of their world.
Now, to even start drawing these blueprints, you got to know the one guiding principle behind almost all of it. This is the secret key, the golden rule of chemical stability.
It's called the octet rule, and at its heart, it's all about one thing: stability. Atoms, they want to be stable. They want to get to a state of low energy, kind of like how a ball always wants to roll to the bottom of a hill. And for most atoms, that perfect state of stability happens when they have 8 electrons in their outer shell, just like the famously unreactive noble gases.
And this really shows you what we're talking about. On the left, you've got carbon. It's got 4 outer electrons, so it's kind of reactive, a little incomplete. On the right, you've got neon with a full set of 8. It's totally stable, totally content. The whole goal for an atom like carbon is to form bonds so it can get to that stable neon state.
Okay, so we get the goal, right? Get every atom to that magic number of 8. Well, with a few exceptions. But how do we actually do it? How do we draw it? Well, that brings us to our toolkit, a simple 4-step guide for drawing any Lewis structure.
And seriously, don't let this intimidate you. This isn't some crazy complex math. It's way more like following a recipe. And if you follow these 4 steps in order, you can build pretty much any simple molecule correctly right on paper.
So here it is, our 4-step recipe. First, you count up all your ingredients. That's the total number of available outer electrons. Second, you figure out your foundation, the central atom. Third, you build the basic frame by connecting everything with single bonds. And finally, you decorate. You place all the leftover electrons to make sure every atom is stable and satisfied.
All right, enough theory. The best way to learn a recipe is to get your hands dirty. So let's actually apply these 4 steps to one of the most important molecules there is, water, or H2O.
Okay, here we go. Our molecule, H2O. Our mission is to create its chemical blueprint from the ground up.
Step 1. Let's count those electrons. Oxygen is in group 16, so it's bringing 6 valence electrons to the party. Then we've got 2 hydrogens, each bringing 1. So that's 6 plus 1 plus another 1. Yep, that gives us a grand total of 8 electrons. That's our entire electron budget for this build.
Step 2 is all about the layout. Who goes in the middle? Well, the rule of thumb is it's usually the least electronegative one. In this case, that's oxygen. Hydrogen is pretty much never in the center, so we'll pop oxygen in the middle and stick the 2 hydrogens on the sides. This is our molecular skeleton.
Okay, step 3. Let's connect the dots. We'll draw one line from the oxygen to each hydrogen. Now remember, each of these lines is a bond, and each bond uses up 2 electrons. So we just used, 4 electrons from our budget of 8. We've got 4 left to play with.
And now for the grand finale, step 4. We have to place those last 4 electrons. So where do they go? Well, they go to the atom that still needs them to be happy to complete its octet. And that's our central oxygen. We'll just add them as 2 little pairs of dots. We call those lone pairs. And voila, blueprint complete. Let's do a quick double check. Each hydrogen? Yep, it's satisfied with 2 electrons. And the oxygen? It has a perfect octet, 8 electrons all around it. Success! We've got a stable, complete molecule.
Now, just when you think you've got it all figured out, chemistry does what it does best and throws a curveball. Turns out, some molecules like to live on the edge.
And here's the thing you absolutely have to remember. The octet rule, it's an amazing guide. It's super powerful, but it is not a law. Chemistry has rebels, atoms that find stability with fewer or sometimes even more than 8 electrons. Think about boron. It can be totally stable with just 6.
And that leaves us with this really cool question, doesn't it? What actually happens when atoms don't follow the rules? What kind of weird, wonderful properties do these rebel molecules have? And honestly, that's where the world of chemical architecture starts to get really interesting.